Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I hope you are all doing really well. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make some beautiful gift tags ready for your presents for your loved ones this Christmas. So without any further ado, let's jump on into the video and get started. Alright then, here we are in Cricut Design Space, and this is the project file that I'm going to be using today. If you want to use my file, please feel free to do so. It will be available in my profile. If you don't know how to find a profile, I've got a really short video that I'll pop below and above for you now, so you can check that out if you want. It's probably about 5 minutes long. It just shows you how to find a project within somebody's profile in Design Space. And as I said, please feel free to go ahead and use that project if you want to, but I am going to show you now how to make these designs for yourself, so you can make them to be with whatever designs you like, really. So first of all, I've just got this really nice scalloped circle here, and I just put a little circle in the top there, a 0.4 centimeter diameter hole, just so that I can string my gift tags. And I've made this just under 7 centimeters because I think that's about the sort of size I want for my gift tags this year. I have picked this beautiful light image here, which I found in Design Space, and I'm going to use this one for this particular one. So what I'm going to do is just shrink it down and pop it in the middle of. So the next thing that you'll want to do, once you've placed that in your circle or in whatever shape you're using, it doesn't have to be this sort of shape, it can be whatever you like. What you'll want to do now is select both of those layers. So I do that just by dragging my mouse over the top of both of them. And as you can see, they are highlighted in the layers panel on the right hand side. So you can see the 2 layers that we have got there. What you'll want to do is just make sure that you are aligned to the center if you are not too sure about that. So come up to the top and just click on center. It moved mine like fractionally, so I'm happy with the way that is. What I'm going to do now is come down here to the bottom. I'm going to click on slice, and if I move my circle away, you can see that that has now cut out this shape here. I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to just change the colour of this. I think I'm going to go blue, and the reason I'm going to go blue is because that is the colour of my wrapping paper this year. And then I've got this just backing one here, which is going to be my backing layer for when I make them. Now, one thing that you do need to look at when you're choosing your shapes to go on here, you don't want any free floating elements on the designs, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we go into images, I'm going to just click on the advanced search here at the bottom, and then I'm going to come up to the top and just type in Christmas. So there are a few examples of that here. So this one would be perfect. So will this. This one, however, won't work, because what will happen, it's going to cut out around, it's going to cut out around the shape of the holly leaf and then around the shape of the berry, but it's also going to cut inside here, and these bits are free floating, so there's nothing attaching those onto this outer section, which is where your tag will be. So let me just show you what I mean. Let's go to the canvas. If I just duplicate this tag here and I come down here, I'm going to shrink that down, I'll pop that on there, I'll just slice that away, I won't bother worrying too much about the placement. So as you can see, it's sliced away, and these are all going to be free floating bits. So when you cut this out, these bits are going to stick to your mat still, and this is going to be one whole thing. Now you can get rid of them, so you can come down to contour here, and you can quite happily just get rid of those pieces, just like so. However, when you do that, it doesn't really look that much like holly leaves and berries anymore, so I would probably steer away from that sort of design. It's just easier to go with one where there aren't any bits that aren't attached to anything. So there are 4 designs on my screen at the moment, and what I think I'm going to do is make them all blue. So I'm going to just go to the material colours, I'm just going to colour sync that all the way to blue, and then I'm going to go through to make. So let's set up the mat and get these cut out. And I think that the best thing to do on this occasion is to do a couple more project copies. So let's apply that. Let me see if I can get 3 sets. I can just about get 3 sets, I think. I may well need to just lift them up a touch, which will be fine. So I will just move them up a little bit so that they're not touching one another. But it just means that I think I'm going to be able to get all of these out of an A4 sheet. So let's do that. And don't forget, when you're on this screen as well, you can always zoom in. So you can use this toggle here and zoom right on in and just see how much space you've got in between each of your items. And then it just allows you to have a little bit of a closer view on what's going on your mat. And we don't have snapping on this screen either. So that means that your control over your mouse, or whatever you're using, your Apple Pencil, or if you're using your finger on a trackpad, it is just that little bit more in control because of the no snapping. All right, let's have a look at that. That looks pretty good. Right, let's go back to normal, and then we are on 21 centimeters, so that should work for an A4 sheet. Now I'm not going to change it to be A4 here, because what it will do is switch the aspect ratio of my sheet round. So instead of it being landscape like it is now, it's going to go to portrait, so it'll come out to here and come down to here, and it renders all of my hard work of moving those around useless. I might have to do the same thing on this one, so I'll do that. Once I've done that, I'll set up the mat with you and we'll get them cut out. Okay, I think I've done that. So what I'm going to do now then is go through to continue. I'm going to just switch back to the first mat to start with. These remind me a little bit of jam tarts actually. I think they look quite good. So now what I need to do is set my base material. So for this, I'm just going to be using some plain white 300 GSM card for the backing. What I'm going to do is click on the poster board setting, which is this one here. It's the one I use for 300 GSM all the time, and I just find that it works really well on my machine. You may well find that you have a different setting that you prefer on your machine, as every machine is a little bit different and has its own little quirks. Let's switch over to the desk camera now and get the mat set up. Right then, I am going to be using this mat today. It is a Cricut light grip mat. It is quite well loved, but it is still pretty sticky. And even though it's got quite a lot of marks on it, it still will do the job that we need it to do today. So I've chosen a couple of different colours. So I've got this lovely blue glitter, which if you want to pick up some of this, then you'll be able to pick it up from the link down below in my description. And then I've just got this white as well, which again is just a white smooth card, but as usual everything I use is down in the description below. I'm just going to pop that on there, and then I'm just going to give that a nice spray down with my brayer. I love this thing, as you have probably heard if you've watched me before. So that is on there. Let's flick back into Design Space just on the screen so we can see what to do next. Next thing to do then is just make sure we are set onto the correct mat there, and then we're going to pop this into the machine and cut it out. It does say to use the fine point blade in the Cricut, but I will be using my deep point blade, which is the one in the black housing today. And the reason that I use that is because it just works better for me in my machine. But as I said before, you should always work out what works best for you. Okay then, I'm just going to switch over my blade, so I'm going to take out the fine point and just pop in this deep point blade. It's the one in the black housing. I use it all the time, especially if I'm cutting glitter cardstock or a thicker one. What I'm going to do now is just pop my mat into my machine and then pop that in there using the arrow button. And then I'm just going to click on go, and that's going to start cutting out my project. Okay, that has finished. Now, unfortunately, I think what I need to do is place my cardstock on my mat a little bit further down for the front, because, I don't know if you can see, I have overlapped very slightly on the bottoms here, but that doesn't matter because this is going at the back anyway. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But what I am going to do when I come back here to the desk, I am going to just place my next piece of cardstock a little bit further down. So I'm looking at this now and just seeing whereabouts that is placed, and I'm just going to, in fact, rip that off there and rip that off there and use that corner as a reference point for my next piece of card, so I don't make this mistake again. So as you can see, they're just flat on the bottom. It doesn't matter too much because realistically you're not going to see that piece. So I'm just going to take all of these off the mat. We just want to be as efficient as we can with the usage of the material, and if we can get 12 or whatever out of each piece, that makes it really good. So let's grab the next piece of card, and all I'm going to do is just place it a little bit further down. So I'm just going to go there and peel that white piece away. So I've used that as my reference point. Let's grab the brayer again, wherever I've put it. Give it a really good stick down. I think I may need to move over a touch actually, because I've got a feeling that I'm a little bit too far over. But I'm keeping it in the same place at the top. Let's stick this into the machine again and cut out. Here is the moment of truth then, and we are so super close to the bottom. Let's peel this back, but as you can see, look how skinny that little piece of card is, but it's worked, so definitely just need to place it a little bit further down. Let's pull all these bits away, and then all we're going to do is just peel back each one. You're going to be able to see that is the Christmas ornament bauble one. Then what have we got here? This one is the lights, so I'm just going to peel it up really carefully. There's the lights, which is this one. That's an ornament. That's the bell. There's the bell. Looks fab. The tree is going to be a little bit more difficult to get off. There's the tree. This is actually probably my favourite one, look. But there is all 4 of them. They are not missing their bottoms, and they are not flat on the bottom, which is great. I'm going to just grab one of my flat templates just to show you though that that isn't going to affect it too much. So here is one that is flat on the bottom, and if we just line that up, you can see how it's not going to be visible at the front, which is fine. You can see a very slight difference at the bottom there, but it looks absolutely perfect. What I'm going to do is I've just grabbed my wrapping paper, and as you can see, it's blue with Santas on it, so this blue matches almost perfectly there. But what I'm going to do for my string is use this red ribbon, so I'm just going to cut off probably about 15 centimeters or so, and I'm going to thread it through here. Now I may need to use a needle because I made the hole really tiny, but all I'm going to do is thread that through there, and then I'm just going to get these 2 ends together, and I'll just tie a little loop knot in there, tie that off, and then there is my tag ready to go onto my gift. I can either write on the inside of it if I wanted to, but I'll probably write on the back here, and then I shall just stick those onto my present and pop a little bow on the top just to finish it off. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. I do hope that you are inspired to try making some of these 2-layered gift tags. If you are, tag me in what you make on Instagram. Everything for that can be found down below, so you can find my profile. And again, have a fantastic Christmas, and I'll see you again for another video soon. Bye!